let's cut to the chase. A weak literature review can cripple your entire project, whether it's a dissertation, thesis, or even just a small research paper. You'll waste hours reading without knowing what you're looking for. You'll end up with a mountain of notes, but no clear storyline. And when it's time to write, it'll be a disjointed, unconvincing mess. Worst of all, your examiner will pick it apart paragraph by painful paragraph. You don't want that. In this video, we'll unpack 3 costly mistakes we've seen hundreds of students make in their literature reviews and how you can avoid them. Let's get to it. The first mistake is treating your literature review like a book report. Many students fall into the trap of summarizing study after study. Smith 2017 said this. Jones 2019 found that. The result is a long list of disconnected summaries, a collection of summaries that doesn't highlight patterns, explore contradictions, or flesh out research gaps. And this is a major problem because the goal of the literature review chapter isn't just to show what research exists, it's to show how the pieces fit together, and then where your research fits in. In practical terms, your literature review should group similar findings together, compare and contrast viewpoints, and highlight debates and unresolved issues. In other words, your literature review should tell a story about what's known, what's not, and why your research matters. You need to synthesize, not just summarize. If you want to learn more about literature synthesis, we've got a video covering exactly that. We put the link in the description for you to make your life just super convenient. All right, on to deadly sin number 2, and that is cherry picking. Cherry picking happens when you only include sources that support your argument and ignore or downplay the ones that don't. It's tempting, we totally get it. But it undermines the credibility of your literature review. By ignoring contradictory evidence, you create a false sense of certainty. Examiners will notice, and they won't take kindly to it. Instead, you should aim to present a balanced view of the literature by acknowledging studies that challenge your assumptions. Better yet, engage with opposing views and discuss their strengths and weaknesses. Doing this shows critical thinking. It shows depth. And no, it doesn't weaken your case, it strengthens it. So long story short, be honest about what the literature says, even when it's messy. If you're finding this helpful, you will love Literature Review Bootcamp. That's our free masterclass that walks you through the entire review process from A to Z. If you're serious about writing a high-quality lit review, you can join for free using the link in the description down there. There, you'll also find a link to download our tried and trusted literature review template, which will speed up your writing and ensure you have a rock-solid structure. You're welcome. All right, on to the third and final mistake for today, and that is missing the golden thread. What exactly does this mean? Well, this one's subtle, but it can quietly ruin your lit review. It happens when your review feels like a standalone essay, packed with sources, but disconnected from your research aims. Your examiner is left thinking, why does this matter? How does this link to your study? In other words, your review lacks a clear purpose and focus. It lacks a golden thread that ties everything together and links it all back to your research aims. So how do you avoid this situation? Well, for each paragraph you write, ask yourself, how does this point relate to my research aims? What does this tell me about the research gap I'm addressing? How does this inform my research design and methodology? If the answer is unclear, you need to either cut it or reframe it. Long story short, less is more when it comes to your literature review. You don't need to cover every single source. You don't need to boast about all the journal articles you've read. Stay focused, stay aligned. All right, let's recap the 3 deadly sins. Number 1, don't just summarize, synthesize. In other words, group, compare, and contrast the literature. Build a clear narrative. Number 2, don't cherry pick. Present a balanced view, even if it challenges your assumptions. And number 3, don't lose the golden thread. Make sure everything ties back to your research aims and research questions. And if it doesn't, cut it. Avoid these mistakes, and you'll build a literature review that's focused, persuasive, and academically sound. And if you need help bringing it all together, check out Literature Review Bootcamp. The link is in the description. Next up, it's time to think about your research methodology. This video will set you on the right path. I'll see you there.